everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Hope you guys have saved some room in that gas tank because it's time to go one more round with Rob. Here today, I'm going to be breaking down or giving you guys my take on some of the fights from the One Fighting Championships card that happened this past Wednesday night. So the like I've said before, One FC does all of their fights are over in the Thailand, China, Asia area. So their fights, normally they have them on a Friday morning. It seems like the next couple of weeks are going to be on Wednesday nights, which is it's pretty cool. It's kind of a breakup of the normal, Friday, Saturday MMA schedule kind of thing. Kind of throws in a little bit of a mix there, getting in on Wednesday. So I'm okay with it. Great fights on this card. Some unexpected things, and then of course some great fights that I think come out of One FC, and then there was quite a big hiccup, for lack of a better term. So we're definitely going to get in on that fight, and actually that's our first fight to get in for. So the first fight I'm going to be giving you guys my take on is Eddie Alvarez versus Uri Lapicus. So Uri Lapicus is actually ranked number 2 in One FC's lightweight division, which is the division that this fight took place in. Eddie Alvarez, Eddie Alvarez has not had a great showing in One FC. He's struggled to string some wins together. So some of you guys that recognize the Eddie Alvarez name and are like, Rob, Eddie Alvarez isn't ranked. Well, two things. First, let's put it that way. First, One FC only ranks to the top 5, so they'll have their champion and then 1 through 5. Eddie Alvarez obviously just falls, in my opinion, I think he would fall just outside of that top 5. Like I said, he's just had difficulty stringing some wins together. Regardless, doesn't really matter for this. Let's get in on it. Round 1, Alvarez comes out, takes the center of the cage. Not necessarily something that's not expected from Alvarez there. So comes out, takes the center of the cage. Lapicus starts throwing kicks and punches almost immediately. I think he realized that, hey, I got to give Eddie something to do. And in this case, it was defend my punches and kicks so that Eddie doesn't try to take me down. Problem is Alvarez does get a takedown. He gets a takedown. He gets double leg takedown. So he gets him up against the cage, and he pretty much drags. Actually, I don't want to say he drags, but he gets Lapicus down. He's got him up against the cage, and so Lapicus is kind of sitting up against the cage, legs stretched out towards the middle of the cage, or towards the middle of the ring there. Eddie is on top. He's got both of Lapicus's legs, locked under or locked in between his legs. And then he kind of works him to the side. So I believe Lapicus was on his, he would have been more on his left side. He wasn't completely on his left side, but he was kind of angled that way. So Alvarez, he starts to throw some ground and pound then. That's his game. Like again, this wasn't shocking for anybody that's seen him fight before. It certainly wasn't shocking for me. So he starts throwing some ground and pound, but Lapicus is in this weird position where his head was kind of turned to begin with. So if he was, face to face, what would be face to face with Alvarez, he had his head kind of turned more in towards, I guess, the left side of Alvarez's chest. So he was kind of turning his head towards his right. And so Alvarez has to watch so that he doesn't hit the back of the head because that's a foul. So Lapicus is kind of turning his head away from the side that Alvarez was punching on, trying to get hit. Alvarez lands 2 to 3 punches with Lapicus's head semi-turned towards him, which to me, I was like, okay, those are close to being illegal, but I think it's fair, being as Lapicus is turning his head. But then Lapicus ends up getting his head turned completely and Alvarez lands another one or two shots to the back of Lapikis' head. Once, like I said, once Lapikis is able to completely turn it, ref stops the action because of the foul. It was an interesting course of events there because Lapikis didn't really lay back or make any motion or cry out in pain that the shots had hurt him until the ref stepped in, and then Lapikis kind of falls back, holds his head. I'm not saying that he wasn't hurt. I'm not saying that the shots didn't affect him, but it was a weird sequence of events. So Lapikis is there. He is able to have he is allowed time to recover. Ultimately, it seemed that he was not going to recover, and the ref gave Alvarez a red card. So in 1FC, that's kind of their way of doing a disqualification. Is they'll do cards. So they'll do like yellow cards, red cards, similar to how. Similar to a soccer style, and it's similar to how Pride Fighting Championships did it back in the late 90s, early 2000s when they had fights, when they were hosting fights in Japan. They would do a card system. A yellow card is obviously a caution, hey, don't do that again. Red card is you're disqualified. So ultimately they give Alvarez a red card. The fight is ruled a no contest. Now hang here for a second with me, guys. I know this is probably the question that popped up in your thought bubble there. Like, Rob, why is it a no contest if you just said Alvarez was disqualified? The reason being is in order to determine a winner based off of this instance in most organizations, and so I'm going to assume that it is the same way in 1FC, the bout hadn't advanced to a point where a winner could be determined. So to be at that point, you have to be at least the halfway point. So in this instance, it was scheduled for a 3-round fight. So they would have had to hit or pass the 2.5 minute mark of round number 2. I don't even think they got a minute and a half into this fight. They might not have even gotten a minute into this fight. Like, it was a very quick sequence of events that occurred. I think 1FC has to run this one back. I really do. I don't think Eddie intended for the shots to be illegal. Now, for the shots to be legal where Eddie was, what would have to happen is Eddie would have to make contact with the ear. So if Eddie Alvarez's shots were making contact with the ear and then they were kind of sliding back, or it was like kind of here, like as long as it's making contact with the ear, it's considered a legal shot. I think a couple of Eddie Alvarez's shots were hitting the ear at first when Lapikis kind of had his head semi-turned. As soon as Lapikis turned his head completely, those shots were clearly to the back of the head. They were clearly to the back of the head. I've seen a lot of discussion about this on different MMA pages that I follow. A lot of people are saying all of them were clearly not illegal, and that the ones that Eddie hit clearly hit to the back of Lapikis' head shouldn't have been considered his fault because Lapikis was turning his head. And in a way, I agree with them, but also it's your job to control your strikes. It's your job to control your actions. You may not be able to control what the other guy does, and that's why they have what's called accidental or incidental fouls. But when you're sitting on top of somebody and you know this man is turning his head into your body to not get hit, don't throw that strike. Readjust your position and then go for the strike. I'm not saying Eddie Alvarez is a dirty fighter. I don't believe that at all. But I don't think he made the best decision in the moment, is what it boils down to. Anyway, like I said, I think 1FC has to run this back. Eddie Alvarez was, in his post-fight interview, was openly and very expressly saying that he was sorry for the strikes, that he did not believe that they were landing in an illegal manner. He was not intentionally trying to hit Lapicus in the back of the head, and he really, the big part of his interview was he was like, I don't even want to talk about anything else. I just hope that this man is healthy and heals quickly. And that was really Eddie's big thing. He was just like, I don't want to talk about anything else. I just want this man to I hope he's okay. I hope he heals okay, and hopefully we can run it back. And I don't even think, and that was kind of something that he was hinting at. He didn't say that he wanted to run it back, but it was kind of something that he was hinting at, in my opinion. This was the first card that ONE FC hosted on TNT here in the United States, and this was not the way that this is not the way that they thought it was going to get off. So rough start, but good news is we have 2 fights coming up that are fantastic. So let's get into them. The first one was the ONE FC Flyweight World Championship. So it was Adriano Makino. Makino Moraes. I don't know what the fight nickname means. I believe it's something in Brazilian, because he was from Brazil. That's what I believe. I'm not saying that's correct. If I'm wrong, hey guys, correct me down in the comments. Either way, it was the ONE FC Flyweight Champion Adriano Makino Moraes versus the #1 contender and the ONE FC Flyweight World Grand Prix Champion Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. Now, the big thing with this one is DJ coming into this fight was looking to secure his 14th World Championship. I'm going to say that again, guys. He was looking to secure his 14th World Championship. He was a 12-time UFC Flyweight Champion. He won the ONE FC Flyweight World Grand Prix Champion. So he's got 13 championships. Now, I will say this. I believe 11 of those 12 UFC World Championships were technically titled defenses. But if you look at his resume, it's gonna tell you who's a 12-time UFC Flyweight Champion, which is correct. And we can debate that if you would like. Drop it in the comments, and we can debate. Anyway, if you ask ONE FC, DJ was going for his 14th World Championship. So let's get into it. Round 1, both guys come out. They both have great movement. Not anything to be surprised about for either guy. DJ opens up with a leg kick first, and Moraes actually answers back with a calf kick. We get about a minute and a half in, and neither guy's really throwing a lot of strikes. Moraes definitely had a height advantage on DJ, and DJ is a very calculated fighter, so he was definitely trying to figure out ways and throw feints and everything like that to try to get inside on Moraes to have a better shot at landing his shots. DJ does get a clinch, lands some good knees up against the cage, but Moraes kind of reverses the position, gets DJ in the clinch, and he actually forces DJ across the cage and onto the wall that was across from them, or a portion of the wall that was across from them. And then he's just able to separate. He's able to separate. He's able to get his distance away from DJ again, and that's what Moraes wanted. Moraes wanted to have the distance from DJ, like I said, because he had the longer reach. So Moraes then gets a leg trip that DJ kind of gets the better of, and he gets on top for a short period of time. But then Moraes goes for a heel hook attempt, and he uses that attempt to get on top. Now, like I said, Moraes is obviously the bigger fighter here, and on top, he does a good job of putting pressure on DJ. He's trying to throw strikes. DJ's doing a good job, though, of kind of defending those strikes, or, maybe not. I don't even want to say defending. He was really just kind of moving himself out of the way of the strikes. So, or just holding Moraes down so that he couldn't posture up to get a strike. So he does a good job of doing that. And he also does a good job of landing a few shots from the bottom as well. However, And that's kind of, I'm sorry, let me start with this. And that's kind of how the round ends. So I think Mariah, like I've said before, ONE FC judges MMA bouts on the entirety. They don't break it down round by round and give a 10-9 score like they do here in the US. But I thought Mariah's had the slight advantage on the scorecards, so to speak, after round one. He had good ground control for a good portion of the back half of the round. DJ had the little spurt of knees in the clinch, but Mariah was able to reverse that and kind of get out of it. And on the stand-up, neither guy really did a lot, so I gave Mariah the advantage there for the striking. Round two, both men come out, again, with good movement. Not surprising. Shouldn't be surprising for anyone. And they come out, and this round they start throwing more punches and kicks because both guys are trying to gain the advantage in the stand-up. I think they kind of knew the ground would be a stalemate for most of it anyways, after, how DJ was able to control Mariah's on the back half of that round, of round one, that is. So I think both men really wanted to try to get their stand-up running. And so they come out, they're throwing their punches, throwing kicks, they're trying to put their combos together. DJ's moving forward a little bit more than Mariah's. And Mariah's is doing a good job of evading DJ. He's when in this round, when DJ would throw his strikes and he would when he would move forward and throw his strikes, maybe one or two initially would land, but then Mariah's was just circling out and away, and he was getting the better of DJ, he was doing better of getting out of the way of DJ as DJ was throwing his strikes. Now, with DJ moving forward so much, Mariah's moving away. It helped. I think it helped Mariah's get his timing down a little bit, because DJ starts to move in at one point, and Mariah's just misses him with a jumping knee as DJ was moving in. But then he follows up with a little bit of a flurry. I believe it was a left hook and a right uppercut. But the right uppercut lands and drops DJ. And then Mariah just jumps all over him. He lands some ground and pound with some punches, and then throws a knee as DJ's trying to get up. Straight to the head. Boom. DJ's out. And that's the fight, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I want to make note of, I did say that as DJ was getting up, the knee was thrown and landed to the head of DJ that knocked him out. In ONE FC, that is legal to knee to the front of the head of a grounded opponent. I have a breakdown of this rule, or at least the rule of kneeing to the head of a grounded opponent in the United States. It was a couple of episodes back. I encourage you guys to go back and watch this. I'm perfectly okay with this. DJ knew the rule. He knew it was a danger. He could have defended it. He took the risk of not in order to get up. And well, he lost that gamble. So it goes down as a KO win at 2 minutes and 24 seconds of the second round for the winner, and still ONE FC flyweight world champion Makino Moraes, excuse me. In the build-up to this fight, in the build-up to this bout, it was built up and aimed at, could DJ cement his legacy? I don't think that's affected with this loss. I don't think his legacy is affected with this loss. I think DJ will go back. He'll have at least maybe another 2 or 3 bouts, and then I think he can be back in that title picture, given that he fights guys that would warrant putting him back in that title picture. And given that he wins those bouts, obviously. I don't think this does anything to affect his legacy. I really don't. How many guys can say that they defended a UFC title, won a UFC title, defended it 11 times, and then went to another organization and pretty much dominated on his way to a championship there. First of all, I want to make this note. No one can say that they've defended a UFC title 11 consecutive times. He never lost. He didn't lose the UFC flyweight championship until his final fight with Henry Cejudo, and I'm not sure that he lost that fight. That was a very close fight, and I thought he got the better of it. I think there was a little monarching going on with that judge's scorecard. I don't think they wanted DJ to leave the organization with the belt. That's just my opinion, though. But let's switch over to talking about Moraes. Great job by the champ. Great job by the champ. He did really well at controlling DJ, which is really hard to do because DJ is so technically profound. He really is. Moraes did a great job of controlling him. Stand up on the ground, great job. He utilized his reach since he was considerably taller than DJ, and guys, I want to say this right now. He's the first person to stop DJ inside a bout. The first person. This kid, it's incredible to watch. He's incredible to watch. I can't say anything else. Like, when that happened, my jaw hit the floor because even I was like, oh, this is a snap. DJ's got it. Like, Mighty Mouse, where's the after party? Like, I was ready to start popping bottles before the fight even started. They're getting announced, and I'm like, hey, where's the champagne? Champ, I'm sorry. My bad. I think this proved that nobody should overlook this man. Nobody. Great defense from the champ. Great defense from Moraes. I can't wait to see who one lines him up with next. I definitely think his size is an issue for anybody in this division, though. A lot of guys in this division are going to be a lot shorter than him. That could be an issue. He could be running with the belt for a while, guys. So I can't wait to see who they match him up with next. I can't wait. I hope DJ heals up and everything and is able to get back in there as quickly as is safely possible. Because, I can't wait to see who they match him up with next either. So it's going to be, this flyweight division is going to be interesting coming through here. Next up, that was our co-main event, guys. So next up we have our main event, which was I believe this was supposed to be for the flyweight Muay Thai belt, but they had it labeled as a catch weight bout, so I'm not sure if somebody had an issue with making weight or if somebody I don't know. It ended up being a catch weight bout in the 1FC Muay Thai Super Series versus like I said, the flyweight champion Rodtand Jitmuanganon versus Danial Williams. Now, we just saw Rodtand in a kickboxing bout, and a flyweight kickboxing bout in 1FC just about a month ago. And I just want to say this, guys. This isn't necessarily a fast turnaround for kickboxers / Thai fighters. It's not. They're extremely used to this. This type of turnaround is something that they're used to, and sometimes it's shorter, especially the Thai guys. The Thai fighters, they could have fights in tournaments, every other weekend. Like, this is how these guys rack up 200, 300 fights, is they just run their bodies, from the time that they're teenagers, really, to their mid-20s, late 20s sometimes, and then they just go and coach. They rack up all this money from winning tournaments and stuff, and then they just go coach. It's a crazy kind of culture in that sport. Anyway, not a quick turnaround. Let's get into the fight. Round one, both guys come out. They open with leg kicks. It was almost immediate, too. They came out and said, bop, bop, and they swapped them. And I was like, whoa, I was not ready to start taking notes this quick. So they come out. Both guys open up with leg kicks. Williams lands a good 1-2 combo off of Rodtand's head kick attempt that he throws. But then Rodtand lands a pair of good heel kicks as well. So both guys are kind of they're throwing their shots. Rodtand's off to a little more of a patient start than the last time we saw him. When the last fight when he came out, like I said, guys, if you guys go back and watch that, I believe it was Fist of Fury 3 was the card he was on the last time. Maybe it was Fist of Fury 1. I don't remember the exact card. It was one of those cards though. When he came out, him and the gentleman he was fighting just came out and they started going at it from almost from second one. It was almost like they started in the middle when the bell went off and they were just like, all right, we're going to start throwing. Rodtand doesn't do that this time. He's a little more patient to start. He starts moving forward. Which helps lead him to landing a good angled heel kick, round kick, a good angled round kick to a 1-2 combo. Williams ends up landing some good right hands throughout the round as well. But really the tail of the round was Rodtand moving forward, landing his round kicks. Excuse me, guys, sorry. Landing his round kicks, landing his strike, landing his punches. Like that was pretty much the round was Rodtand moving forward and having that pressure. Rodtand does end the round with a host of low kicks and body kicks. Like he was just attacking the legs and body. And so that was like, wow. It's like, how many more is he going to be able to throw before the round ends? So needless to say, I gave Rodtand the round 10-9. He just controlled the round, guys. He really did. Round 2, both guys come out. Again, they open with low kicks. I was expecting this to be a thing at this point. When they came out in round 2 and they opened with low kicks again, I was like, oh, okay, so this is how we're going to start the rounds. Cool. And I do think it's cool. I think they're trying to set a tone and set a pace, and that's great. Both guys are landing at landing some punches near the end of the first minute. And there's not really a lot of action in that first minute up until these punches start landing. Rodtand lands 2 strong left hooks too at the end of this exchange here that drops Williams. Williams has to answer a standing 8 count and doesn't appear to want to avoid Rodtand, but still stand and bang with him. Which, dude, more power to you, because you just got dropped by this man with 2 left hooks. The thing was Rodtand was applying a ton of pressure for the remainder of the round. He's landing at close to the end of the round. He starts landing some good elbows in close. And it was kind of how the round went. After Rodtand dropped him with those two strong left hooks, he really just started moving and pushing Williams back, landing his shots. Williams did land a couple of shots of his own. He did, admittedly, but there just wasn't a lot on it because the man had already been dropped. He was still trying to recover. Rodtand just didn't allow him to do so. So I gave the round 10-8 to Rodtand. And I was curious to see how Williams would recover coming into round 3, because he really didn't get a chance to rest at all in round 2 at all. So round 3 comes out. Guess what, guys? Both of these 2 guys, they open up with low kicks again. Like I said, once I saw it in round 2, I expected it to be a trend, and it was. Williams trying to open up more to start the round. I think he knows that he's behind on the scorecards, or at least it's even after the... Or no, he would have been behind on the scorecards even after the second round, even if he had won the first round, because I think Rodtand should have been scored 10-8. So I think Williams knows that he's behind, so he's trying to open up more to start the round. He even tries a jumping tomahawk elbow, which in Muay Thai, the tomahawk elbow, they bring it around and they come just straight down, straight to like the crown of the head here. He tries a jumping one, which I've not watched a lot of Muay Thai bouts, but I've never seen that attempted before, so I thought it was cool. I was like, whoa, okay, here we go. So Williams is throwing more shots than Rodtand through kind of the first half of the round, but Rodtand is still landing hard. He's still landing hard, and mostly he's landing some hard, his right hand hard. When he finds the opening for it, he's not. I think he knew he maybe pressed a little too much in the second round, and that's why he didn't get the finish, or he didn't get another knockdown. So I think he's trying to be a little more measured in what he's throwing here. He's also still landing good elbows when he gets on the inside of Williams too. Like I said, at the end of the second round there, he was landing a good batch of elbows on the inside. And he's still doing that in the third round when he can get inside on Williams, or when Williams gets too close to him. Last minute of the round, Williams appears to be much more tired than how he started the round, and it's most likely due to how fast he started the round and the fact that I don't think he fully recovered in round 2 or in the 60-second break that they had between round 2 and 3. And this means Rodtand is able to land his strikes better because he doesn't have to worry about Williams moving forward on him so much or trying to outpace him, and so he's able to land better and control the pace. So the round ends. I gave the round 10-9 again to Rodtand. I thought he landed the harder strikes throughout the round, and then he was able to kind of control the round for that last minute. So we go to the judges' scorecards. They give it the unanimous decision win for Rodtand Jitmuanganon. Sorry, guys. I didn't think it was a surprise. I thought, like I said, I thought he controlled the fight for the most part. Like I've said before, 1FC doesn't give what the judges scored it. They just say, hey, it was a split. Judge 1 scored it for this guy. Judge 2 scored it for this guy. Judge 3 scored it for the first guy. If it's a split decision, or all 3 judges scored it for your winner, if it's unanimous decision, they do it like that. They don't read off the scorecards for whatever reason. So good win for Rodtand. Williams definitely didn't make it easy for him. Rodtand had that good knockdown in the second round that I think really set the pace for the end of that second round. But the first round and the first half of the third round, Williams was able to hang in the fight. I think he showed that, hey, this is the top guy and I can hang with him through 3 rounds. I don't know if he would have lasted another 2 rounds if this was a 5-round fight and for the title, but he could show that he can hang for 3 rounds with the top guy. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do. Like I said before, guys, I don't know who they're going to get to give that'll be able to beat Rodtand. I mean, Williams here definitely gave him a good run and gave him a good challenge, but I don't know who they have that'll give Rodtand a loss. Not saying that he can't lose, not saying that they don't have somebody to do that, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it against him. So we'll see what they have next for Rodtand. We'll see what they have next for Williams. I honestly can't wait to see both guys back in there and getting after it again. So there you go, guys. That's the show for today. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you agreed with how with my take on things, if you disagreed with my take on things and you saw things a little differently, like I said, drop a comment down below. Hop over to Facebook or Instagram and shoot me a message. Drop some discussion in the comments there. And we can discuss it. Like always, guys, if you guys know of any cards that are coming up and you're not seeing me talk about it on Facebook or Instagram, again, shoot me a message, drop something in the comments, and I'll definitely take a look at the card and look up the card and see what's going on with it. And who knows? Maybe I'll choose it and I'll give my take on it there. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, review, all that kind of fun stuff. Facebook page is One More Round with Rob. Instagram handle is at One More Round Rob. So make sure you guys go over and follow those pages there as well. I'm posting stuff daily, almost daily, on those pages as well. So until next time, guys, hope you guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. And congratulations, you just went one more round with Rob. Have a good one. We'll see you guys next time.